Well, thank you very much, and it's a great pleasure to be here. We sit here a week before world leaders would gather and deliberate upon the human rights situation in the world. A number of them would be thugs, thieves, and murderers. And a number of them also would be apologetical, and they would appease these thugs, murderers, and thieves, saying that it's in their strategic interest. They would argue that their cultures, that their religions are different, and therefore they have this right to continue harming us. We are here to see that this doesn't happen. We are here to see that we may be able to impress upon them the need to safeguard and promote democracy and human rights. I started my working life as a journalist in 1989. Very soon, the government decided to deregister the magazine and arrest the whole editorial board. That night, 270 of us were arrested. I was held in solitary confinement for 18 months. I was trapped in stocks, chained, urinated upon, spat at, fed glass, and I was always forced to confess. The whole issue is about capitulation. Clever dictators suck you up. They want your entire life to be erased and reformatted according to their worldview and according to how they want you to think. They're not torturing you for the information. They're not torturing you because they want to know when the next protest is or who I have been speaking to. But that they are torturing you to erase you, to get you to capitulate, to get you to surrender to the state. This is difficult, but I was silly enough not to confess. So this went on and on and on, and the torture continued, but I just couldn't confess. I wouldn't necessarily suggest or advise any one of you to do the same. It's fairly painful. Finally, they released me after 2 years, and then I was again silly enough to start writing. I wrote again, and they arrested me again. But this time, of course, I think they've already learned the lesson that there was no point in torturing me because it was messy, it was bloody. And so they just held me for a few months in solitary and then would release me. Then again, I would write, and then again, they would arrest me. This continued, and halfway through this, I thought perhaps if I got elected as a member of parliament, I might have some safety and security. I sought election in the capital city, Male, and they elected me as their MP. But the government arrested me the next day. So it didn't work. Then, soon after that arrest, somehow on a rioting day, I was able to flee, and we fled to Sri Lanka. We formed a political party in exile. Through this party, we were able to galvanize our people to political activism. We were able to amend the constitution. We were able to have our first free and fair elections. This was now in 2008. I returned back to the Maldives, and of course they arrested me. But the elections were held, and I was released, And I was fortunate to have won those elections and became the president. I always say, and I always still believe, that it is possible to topple a dictator, but it is not so easy to uproot a dictatorship. The previous regime came back. They toppled me in a coup, and of course, again arrested me. I was able to take part in the 2013 elections, and I won, but they nullified the elections. They had it again. Again I won, and they nullified it again. So they had as many elections that took them until I was beaten, and then again they arrested me. I was in jail for more than 1 year, and I thank you, Gerard, and Amal Clooney and Ben Emerson, and my lawyers at home, Hassan Latif, Hisan Hussain, Rifat Safa, the whole team, for working very hard and got me out on a pretext of medication. And I have sought asylum in England. But I intend to get back. And I intend to, even if it means going back to jail, I intend to do that. I would call upon everyone here today to work together to subvert the regimes in so many of these countries. Let's bring down these governments. We can build economic, social, and political structures to subvert and destabilize these regimes. I am sure we could do it, and I am very sure we can win it. Thank you.